Have you ever paused to reflect on the magnitude of your spiritual journey? The path of God's chosen ones is not for the faint of heart, and today we're here to celebrate an extraordinary truth about you, one that will deepen your understanding of who you are and why you've been called. Welcome, God's chosen ones. The greatest deception the enemy ever executed was making the world believe he didn't exist. But here's where you've defied all odds. While others remained blind to the unseen war raging around them, you not only saw it, but stepped boldly into the battlefield. And what happened? You didn't just survive, you obliterated 97% of the demons sent to destroy you. Imagine that, 97%. The victory you've achieved is nothing short of extraordinary. Let's take a moment to express deep gratitude to every one of you who has supported this channel, especially through your super thanks contributions. Your faith-filled generosity allows us to share these life-changing messages with a world hungry for truth. If you're ready to embrace your victory as one of God's warriors, comment 777 below and declare your readiness to keep marching forward in faith. The spiritual battles you fought were no accident. Emotional chaos, mental torment, and relentless attacks weren't just coincidences. They were calculated traps set by forces preying on the unsuspecting. Yet here you stand, having dismantled their schemes with a wisdom and power they never anticipated. So, how did you defeat them? What made you the warrior they now fear and whisper about in their infernal circles? Today, we're uncovering not only how you overcame, but also how you've transformed into the nightmare demons dread the most. Stay with us, because the answers will leave you inspired and ready to step even further into your divine mission. God's chosen ones, you defeated 97% of the demons. God's chosen ones. Your ability to exercise self-control is nothing short of extraordinary, and it has become one of your greatest spiritual weapons. This rare strength is precisely why you've overcome 97% of the demons that sought to defeat you. These dark forces don't rely on direct confrontation. Instead, they manipulate your emotions, aiming to incite chaos and destabilize your inner peace. Their strategy is clear: provoke you, push you to act impulsively, and then let the aftermath of your own reactions consume you. But with you, their tactics failed spectacularly. You've cultivated the discipline to pause and reflect before responding. Your actions are deliberate, not dictated by emotion. This is not a common trait. It's an exceptional ability that unnerves spiritual adversaries. Demons thrive on emotional turmoil, anger, fear, anxiety, but when they targeted you, they found nothing to feed on. Instead of reacting with anger, you chose calmness. Instead of succumbing to fear, you stood firm in faith. Each moment of peace you claimed was a victory, disarming their influence and stripping them of the power they sought to wield over you. Consider how this aligns with the wisdom in Proverbs 16:32. Better a patient person than a warrior, one with self-control than one who takes a city. Your patience and self-control have made you mightier than any warrior, standing firm where others might have faltered. Have you ever wondered how much strength it takes to remain calm when provoked? To refuse to let chaos dictate your actions? This isn't just strength, it's divine mastery. Many people fall into the trap of emotional impulsivity, screaming and reacting to every challenge. In those moments, they unknowingly give demons the energy they crave, but you've learned to harness your emotions as tools for growth rather than weapons of destruction. Imagine the frustration your enemies must feel when they throw every trick at you, only to watch you remain unshaken. Doesn't that make you wonder how much greater your purpose is, knowing that even your peace terrifies them? Your self-control is more than a defensive strategy. It's an offensive form of spiritual warfare. By refusing to give in to the chaos, you've denied them the very oxygen they need to survive. Think of Jesus during his 40 days in the wilderness, Matthew 4:1-11, where he was tempted repeatedly, yet responded with wisdom and scripture rather than anger or fear. In the same way, your ability to remain composed under pressure echoes his example, demonstrating a faith-driven dominance over darkness. Every calm response, every moment of restraint, is a declaration of your authority as one of God's chosen. Your self-control doesn't just repel these forces, it confuses and demoralizes them. They cannot understand how you've turned the very emotions they sought to exploit into barriers against their schemes. And this is why you've triumphed over 97% of them, because your mastery of self is a reflection of God's strength working through you. So, the question remains, what will you do with this incredible power? How will you continue to wield it, not just for your protection, but as a beacon of light for others who are still struggling? Your ability to embrace solitude is a profound strength, one that strikes fear into the forces of darkness. While most people dread being alone because it forces them to confront their deepest fears and unresolved emotions, you saw solitude as an opportunity to transform and grow. This rare embrace of stillness is one of the key reasons why you've defeated 97% of the demons that sought to break you. Dark forces thrive on distraction, leveraging the noise of the world to sow confusion and dependency. They weaponize chaos, using it to pull people away from clarity and purpose. But when you chose solitude, you disrupted their strategies entirely. In the quiet, you found clarity, exposing the subtle lies and manipulations designed to keep you weak. Negative thoughts, toxic relationships, and environments that sought to drain your spirit. By stepping away from the noise, you not only saw their schemes, but dismantled them with precision and determination. This path of solitude mirrors the experience of Jesus, who often withdrew to isolated places to pray and strengthen his connection with God. In Luke 5:16, it says, "But Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed." Have you ever wondered why the Son of God sought solitude so frequently? It was in those moments that he gained divine insight and renewal. Similarly, your solitude has become a sacred space where distractions fade and the truth is revealed. Your time alone was not idly spent. It was a battlefield where you confronted your inner struggles and emerged victorious. While others avoided their fears, you faced them head-on. This terrified the dark forces because solitude stripped them of their usual tools: external validation, emotional manipulation, and material distractions. In isolation, you became self-sufficient, learning to draw strength not from the world, but from within, through your connection to the divine. How does it feel to know that your independence renders you untouchable by the forces that prey on others' vulnerabilities? What's even more remarkable is how solitude refined your intuition. Without the constant chatter of the world clouding your mind, you tuned into divine wisdom and guidance. This alignment made you an enigma to those who sought to undermine you. Your strength became unpredictable because it came from a source they couldn't reach or influence. In solitude, you not only found peace, but also became a vessel for God's power to flow through you, confounding those who tried to control or harm you. Solitude doesn't create strength. It reveals the strength that was already within you. This truth reflects what Psalm 46:10 teaches. "Be still and know that I am God." In your stillness, you recognized God's presence and his guidance, allowing you to rise above the schemes of darkness. Isn't it remarkable how a state that many fear, being alone, became your greatest ally in your spiritual battles? Through solitude, you've built a sanctuary where demons cannot tread. It's not just a place of retreat, but a fortress of self-awareness, faith, and divine connection. While others run from their own thoughts, you've used yours to uncover truths, gain wisdom, and master yourself. This mastery terrifies the dark forces because it makes you untouchable. So the question is, how will you continue to harness this powerful gift of solitude to guide yourself and inspire others on their journey to self-discovery and spiritual victory? Your energy frequency is one of the most profound reasons why you've triumphed over 97% of the demons that attempted to harm you. Energy is not just an abstract idea, it is the essence of who you are, a reflection of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Through deliberate choices and unwavering discipline, you've elevated your energy to a level so high that dark forces cannot approach it. Much like moths drawn to a flame, they are repelled before they can even come close. Dark forces thrive in low frequencies: fear, anger, envy, and doubt. These negative vibrations are their fuel, dragging people into cycles of despair and dependence. Yet you refuse to be pulled down. You chose to rise above, cultivating your spirit through self-awareness, spiritual discipline, and intentional growth. Each time you responded with love instead of hate, peace instead of chaos, and faith instead of fear, you increased your vibrational frequency. This process didn't just protect you, it transformed you into someone untouchable by negativity. The Bible often speaks about the power of light and energy. In John 1:5, it is written, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." Your elevated energy operates like this light, piercing through darkness, rendering it powerless. Isn't it awe-inspiring to think that by simply choosing faith and positivity, you've created a shield so powerful that darkness cannot dwell in your presence? This wasn't a passive transformation. You actively worked to cultivate this energy. You released toxic habits, let go of harmful thoughts, and distanced yourself from low-vibration people who sought to drain your spirit. Instead of allowing negativity to linger, you fed your soul with what uplifted and empowered you: prayer, scripture, gratitude, and acts of kindness. By aligning yourself with God's truth and purpose, you built an energy frequency that not only shields you, but also intimidates anything that operates in darkness. Consider how this mirrors the teachings of the Philippians 4:8, which urges us to focus on what is true, noble, right, pure, and admirable. By doing so, you've raised your spirit to a place where negativity cannot coexist. Doesn't it make you wonder how much power you've tapped into, knowing that your energy not only protects, but also transforms the environment around you? Your elevated frequency isn't just a defensive mechanism, it's an offensive force that reveals the weakness of dark entities. When they try to latch onto you, your energy burns them out, much like a flame extinguishes darkness. It's not about magic, it's about alignment with God's will and the unshakable peace that comes from walking in His light. As Isaiah 40:31 says, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles." You've soared so high that the forces of darkness can no longer reach you. This power is entirely yours, a testament to your choices and dedication. You didn't just defeat the demons, you outgrew them, rising to a spiritual plane where their influence simply cannot exist. So now, the question becomes, how will you use this elevated energy? How will you inspire others to rise above fear and chaos, just as you have? Your mastery of silence has become one of your greatest weapons, a tool so powerful it has rendered 97% of the demons that opposed you utterly ineffective. Silence, in your hands, is not simply the absence of speech, it is the presence of unparalleled self-control and wisdom. While many feel the urge to retaliate, defend themselves, or lash out in the face of negativity, you've chosen a different path, the art of restraint. Dark forces thrive on reaction. They feed off emotional outbursts, heated arguments, and the chaos of impulsive responses. Every time you refuse to engage, you cut off their supply, leaving them to flail in frustration. Imagine a flame that burns out when there's no oxygen to fuel it. This is what your silence does to the schemes of darkness. It denies them the foothold they need to dig deeper into your life, leaving their efforts wasted and their power neutralized. This silence is not weakness. It is a calculated strategy. It reflects a profound understanding that not every battle is worth fighting, especially when your energy and peace are at stake. Consider the wisdom of the Proverbs 17:28, which says, "Even fools are thought wise if they keep silent, and discerning if they hold their tongues." By choosing silence, you demonstrate not only control, but also a higher level of discernment that terrifies your enemies. Have you noticed how much louder silence can speak than any words ever could? Your silence sends a clear and devastating message. I know what you're trying to do, and I won't play your game. This statement, though unspoken, strikes deeply at the heart of dark forces because it reveals their powerlessness against you. They expect chaos, but instead they meet stillness. They swing expecting resistance, but instead they hit a void. This unanticipated outcome leaves them directionless, unraveling under the weight of their own chaos. Silence doesn't just shield you, it magnifies your presence. By not reacting, you compel others, both people and spiritual entities, to confront their own actions. Without your response to distract or deflect, they're left to wrestle with the consequences of their behavior. Isn't it fascinating how silence can force reflection in others while protecting your energy at the same time? This approach mirrors the example of Jesus when he stood before his accusers. In Matthew 27:14, it is written, "But Jesus made no reply, not even to a single charge, to the great amazement of the governor." His silence was not born of weakness, but of divine strength and purpose. In the same way, your silence is a reflection of your mastery, showing that you operate on a level far beyond the reach of those who seek to provoke you. By starving negativity of the energy it craves, you've suffocated 97% of your enemies into irrelevance. This is not mere survival, it is a form of spiritual mastery. You've turned silence into both a shield and a weapon, an unshakable defense and a devastating offense. Isn't it incredible to think that silence, often underestimated, holds such immense power when wielded with intention and wisdom? So, the question becomes, how will you continue to use this mastery of silence to navigate the battles ahead? How might you inspire others to discover the strength that lies not in their words, but in their quiet, confident restraint? Your mind has become your greatest fortress, a stronghold that no dark force can penetrate. By fortifying it, you've obliterated the demon's access to their most vital battlefield. For most people, the mind is where battles are lost before they even begin. Manipulation, fear, and confusion take root, dismantling clarity and sowing seeds of doubt. But you refuse to allow this. You've transformed your mind into an impenetrable sanctuary, a process that didn't happen overnight, but through deliberate and disciplined effort. You built this resilience by questioning everything, challenging old beliefs, discarding what weakened you, and nurturing what made you stronger. Through this intentional process, you developed discernment, which became your sharpest weapon. Now, every thought, idea, or influence must pass through the filter of your clarity and purpose. This vigilance makes it nearly impossible for manipulation to sneak in unnoticed. Have you ever wondered how many battles are won simply by recognizing which thoughts are worth entertaining and which ones are not? Fear, one of the most potent tools of the enemy, once held sway over you. It sought to corner and control you, but you dismantled its power by understanding its true nature, an illusion. As 2 Timothy 1:7 reminds us, "For God gave us a spirit, not of fear, but of power and love and self-control." When fear tried to immobilize you, you leaned into faith, allowing God's truth to guide you through the shadows. Isn't it remarkable how faith can transform fear into a stepping stone for greater strength? Confusion, another favored weapon of darkness, also lost its grip. Where they once planted doubt, you replaced it with understanding and focus. You refused to let uncertainty derail you, instead seeking wisdom and aligning your thoughts with divine truth. James 1:5 promises, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." By mastering your mind, you have not only protected yourself, but also rendered their efforts futile. How can confusion thrive in the presence of clarity and unwavering focus? Your mental clarity has become a barrier so strong that demons can no longer find an entry point. They thrive on weakness, but your inner strength leaves no cracks for them to exploit. Every time they tried to infiltrate your thoughts, you shut the door and locked it behind them. You've reclaimed your mind as your domain, a space ruled by intention, truth, and resilience. What once may have been a battlefield is now a sanctuary of peace and power. This transformation terrifies your enemies. Without access to your mind, they've already lost the war. Your thoughts, no longer ruled by fear or confusion, are guided by purpose and divine wisdom. As Philippians 4:8 encourages, "Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." Isn't it empowering to know that by controlling your thoughts, you've claimed victory before the battle could even begin? You've become mentally unbreakable, a testament to the strength God has helped you cultivate. With your mind fortified, your enemies can no longer deceive or manipulate you. So the question is, how will you use this newfound mental strength to inspire others to take back control of their own minds? How might your story of resilience help others break free from the chains of fear and confusion? Your boundaries have become one of your most potent spiritual defenses, standing as unyielding fortresses that make you untouchable. These boundaries are not just simple rules, they are sacred barriers that protect your peace, energy, and spiritual alignment. While many people struggle with guilt, manipulation, or the fear of rejection, you've mastered the art of setting boundaries that serve you without isolating you. This mastery is a source of immense frustration for dark forces. Boundaries for them are kryptonite. Demons thrive on exploiting the absence of boundaries. They push emotional buttons, invade personal space, and use guilt as a tool to break down defenses. But with you, they encounter a dead end. Your boundaries are not negotiable. They are firm declarations of your worth and purpose. These barriers do not merely keep negativity out. They create a sacred space where only what aligns with your highest good is allowed to enter. This resilience mirrors the wisdom found in Proverbs 4:23. "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." By establishing these boundaries, you're not only guarding your heart, but also fortifying your entire being against anything that seeks to disrupt your spiritual alignment. Have you ever considered how many battles you've avoided simply by refusing to let toxic influences into your space? Your boundaries are not just about saying no to others. They're about saying a resounding yes to yourself and your divine purpose. You've learned to discern what serves your growth and what drains your energy. Toxic relationships, chaotic environments, and manipulative influences have no place in your life. This intentionality has created a sanctuary of clarity and purpose where negativity cannot thrive. Isn't it empowering to know that by simply defining what you will and won't accept, you've transformed your life into a stronghold of peace? The demons that once exploited your empathy and compassion have now realized there's no way to manipulate you. They cannot guilt you into overextending yourself, nor can they trick you into compromising your values. Your boundaries are a reflection of your self-worth, a testament to the understanding that protecting your energy is not selfish, but essential. Consider Jesus' example in Mark 1:35-38, where he often withdrew from crowds to pray and refocus on his mission. Even the Son of God set boundaries, prioritizing his spiritual alignment over the demands of others. By refusing to spread yourself too thin or allow your peace to be eroded, you've rendered dark forces powerless. They feed on individuals who sacrifice their well-being for the sake of others' demands. But your strength lies in your unwavering commitment to protecting your energy. When demons approach and encounter your unyielding barriers, they don't just retreat, they flee. Your boundaries are more than protection. They are power wielded with purpose and precision. This mastery over your space terrifies the forces of darkness because it denies them the access they desperately crave. They cannot infiltrate a life fortified with clarity and self-respect. How might you continue to inspire others to set their own boundaries, teaching them that saying no to toxicity is a vital yes to their own growth and divine purpose? How will you use your unshakable strength to guide others toward creating their own sanctuaries of peace and power? Your authenticity is one of the most powerful forces you've harnessed, a force that has shattered the illusions demons rely on to thrive. They live in lies, masks, and false narratives, constructs designed to manipulate, control, and keep others in a state of fear and confusion. But with you, the game is over. You've made the courageous decision to live in raw truth, and in doing so, you've obliterated everything these dark forces have built. Your refusal to play along doesn't just expose their deception, it destroys it completely. Most people fall prey to the illusions demons craft. Facades, false narratives, societal pressures, and emotional manipulation designed to sow self-doubt. They get trapped in these webs because they can't see through the lies. But not you. You've rejected these falsehoods. You stripped away the need for validation from the outside world, the pressure to conform, and the illusion that you must fit into a system that was never created to honor your truth. In choosing to live authentically, you've not only found personal freedom, you've wielded a weapon that demons simply can't overcome. This mirrors John 8:32, where Jesus said, "Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." Your commitment to truth has set you free in ways the enemy could never anticipate. You see through their manipulation, but more than that, you don't just see it, you expose it for what it is. Lies crumble when confronted with truth, and you embody that truth. Isn't it powerful to realize that by simply being yourself, you force darkness to flee? Demons depend on people remaining blind to the truth, playing along with their games and doubting their own worth. They thrive when others question themselves, but your refusal to doubt your own value disrupts their entire operation. When you stand firm in your authenticity, you not only refuse to participate in their lies, you force them into the light. In that light, their power evaporates. They are exposed for the cheap tricks they are, powerless in the face of someone who refuses to hide. You've become impervious to their tactics, fear, guilt, shame, because you've embraced every part of who you are, even the parts they tried to convince you to hide. When you stand confidently in your truth, the whispers of darkness lose their power. This is terrifying to demons because without weaknesses to exploit, they have no leverage over you. Their only weapon is illusion, and you've dismantled it completely. Your authenticity has become both a shield and a sword. It protects you by refusing to let their deception take root, and it strikes at the heart of their lies, cutting through them with the clarity of truth. And this is why they can't survive in your presence. They depend on illusions to control, but you've made sure that truth reigns in your life. So, how do you continue to use this powerful truth to fortify your spirit? How can you inspire others to embrace their own authenticity, knowing that it is the ultimate weapon against the lies of the enemy? Your detachment from external validation has become one of your greatest sources of strength, and it has utterly disarmed the demons that once sought to control you. These dark forces thrive on feeding the ego, offering false praise to inflate it, withholding approval to diminish it, and manipulating it with the constant craving for external affirmation. But by removing your ego from their grasp and choosing to stop seeking validation from others, you have rendered them powerless. Your freedom from the need for external approval is like a shield that repels their attempts to manipulate or control you. For most people, the need for approval is where they fall into traps. They chase praise, fear criticism, and mold themselves into what others want them to be, unknowingly giving away their power in the process. This dependence on validation creates vulnerabilities that demons can exploit. But you've seen through this game. You've broken free from the cycle of seeking approval because you've discovered that true validation comes from within. You've made peace with who you are, flaws and all, and this self-assurance is what makes you unshakable. Demons hate this because it cuts off one of their primary access points to manipulate you. The truth is that Proverbs 29:25 reminds us, "The fear of man lays a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is safe." You've chosen to trust in your divine purpose rather than the fleeting opinions of others. By doing so, you've neutralized the power of fear and doubt that comes from seeking external validation. When you no longer need applause or approval, their flattery falls flat. When you no longer fear rejection, their disapproval loses all power to hurt you. Your inner strength has made their attempts to control you utterly futile. This detachment doesn't just protect you, it allows you to move through the world with freedom and confidence. You make decisions based on what aligns with your purpose and values, not based on how others might perceive you. This clarity of vision makes you unpredictable to the forces of darkness because they can no longer control your actions or reactions. Their manipulation fails because you refuse to be swayed by the external forces that once controlled your choices. In essence, your independence from the need for validation is a weapon, one that demons cannot overcome. They cannot manipulate someone who doesn't crave their approval. This self-sufficiency terrifies dark forces because it makes you uncontrollable. In your freedom, you've robbed them of their most effective tool. You don't just survive in this world, you thrive on your own terms, and that is something demons simply cannot handle. Have you ever considered how much power you gain when you no longer rely on others to define your worth? By living on your own terms and trusting in the divine validation of your life's purpose, you've become a force that dark forces cannot touch. How will you continue to protect this freedom, and how might you inspire others to break free from the chains of external validation and live boldly in their truth? Your spiritual armor is unlike anything demons have ever encountered. It is unseen, yet its power is so immense and indestructible that they can't even begin to fathom how to breach it. While most people fight their battles on the physical plane, reacting to challenges with their minds and emotions, you have taken a far more profound approach. You have aligned yourself so deeply with your spiritual essence that it has become an impenetrable shield, one that renders any attack meaningless before it even lands. The majority of people are spiritually vulnerable, often unaware of the unseen forces surrounding them, leaving them exposed to darkness. But you, in contrast, have cloaked yourself in divine protection. This spiritual armor wasn't built through force or aggression, but through alignment with your higher self and divine purpose. It is the product of years of focused effort, tuning your energy to a higher frequency, maintaining clarity about your purpose, and grounding yourself in the truth of who you are. This alignment isn't just awareness, it's a deep, unwavering connection to the divine. As you walk through the world, your very presence shifts the energies around you, creating an environment where demons cannot survive. They may attempt to strike, plan coordinated attacks, or throw their darkness toward you, but every blow they land falls harmlessly away. Your spiritual shield reflects their negativity back at them, leaving them with nothing to latch onto. You don't fight in the traditional sense. You've reached such a level of alignment with your higher purpose that their attacks are neutralized before they can even take form. Isn't it incredible to think that your energy alone is enough to disarm the forces of darkness? This divine protection is rare, and many don't understand how to wear this armor. Most people fight in the physical world, grappling with what they can see, hear, and feel. But your battles are fought in the unseen realm, where your spirit reigns supreme. Demons are powerless against someone whose strength doesn't come from willpower alone, but from the divine source to which they are connected. And because of this, 97% of their attacks fail before they even reach you. They don't know how to handle someone who is so aligned with their true divine purpose. In a world where so many are vulnerable to the attacks of darkness, your spiritual alignment has become an invincible armor. You don't need to defend yourself in the traditional sense. Your connection to the divine and the truth of who you are is the shield that keeps you safe. Ephesians 6:11 reminds us, "Put on the full armor of God, so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. And in doing so, you've become invincible. As long as you stand firm in your truth and maintain your connection to the divine, no force, seen or unseen, can breach your spiritual armor." So, the question remains, how will you continue to strengthen this divine connection, ensuring that no attack can ever breach your spiritual armor? How might your unwavering alignment inspire others to seek their own, but in standing in the light of truth and purpose? One of the most powerful victories you've achieved is not through direct confrontation, but by exposing the very essence of the demons themselves. When these dark forces encounter you, they don't see strength. They see their own weakness reflected back at them. You don't need to throw punches or engage in battle to break them down. Your mere presence shines a light on their insecurities and desperation, making their illusions crumble before they can even take root. Demons attack because they cannot bear the truth of what they are: weak, powerless, and ultimately afraid. They rely on deception to manipulate others into doubting their own strength and worth. But when they come face to face with you, their illusions are shattered. They are confronted with a truth they can't escape. Their tactics, tricks, and falsehoods don't work on someone who stands firmly in their own power and truth. And it is this steadfastness, your unwavering confidence in who you are, that breaks them down. This process reminds me of the moment when Jesus cast out demons. In Mark 1:24, the demon shouts, "What do you want with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." The demons knew they were powerless in the face of truth, just as they recognized their weakness in your presence. You reflect their true nature back at them, and this forces them to face what they truly are: shadows that vanish in the light of your unwavering truth. Can you imagine how unsettling it must be for them to see their own inferiority mirrored in someone who is rooted in their divine purpose? Demons thrive on confusion, fear, and manipulation, but when they face you, they encounter none of that. Where they once sowed doubt, they now find clarity. Where they hope to instill fear, they meet unwavering strength. When they try to manipulate, they are met with the unshakable peace of someone who knows their worth. This is the true power you hold, not the ability to fight, but the ability to expose their true nature. And in doing so, you dismantle their entire foundation. It's a terrifying thing for demons to encounter someone who is unshaken by their games. They can't stand to look at a reflection that shows their true weakness. In your presence, they see nothing but their own desperation. Demons can only survive in a world of illusion, where lies and confusion mask the truth. But when the truth is revealed, when their deception is stripped away, they are powerless. And this is why they flee. They cannot endure the truth that they are nothing but shadows, incapable of standing against someone who knows their worth and walks in divine power. Your ability to expose their true nature is what makes you so dangerous. You don't engage with their false narratives. You simply reflect their weakness, and in doing so, you dismantle everything they've built. This is your strength, not fighting the darkness, but letting the light of truth reveal it for what it is. Fear has always been the primary fuel that demons run on. It is the force they use to control, manipulate, and drain the very life force of those they target. The moment they sense fear, they feed on it, growing stronger and more insidious with each passing moment. But you've completely broken that cycle. You've gone bankrupt in the fear department, refusing to give them the one thing they need to thrive. By no longer fearing their threats or presence, you've cut off their primary source of sustenance and left them starving. Most people unknowingly feed demons with their fear, reacting to threats, intimidation, or even the mere idea of dark forces with anxiety, uncertainty, and hesitation. Demons thrive on this energy. Every ounce of fear you feel gives them power, fuels their schemes, and makes them feel untouchable. But you've seen through the illusion. You've realized that fear is a choice, and you've simply stopped choosing it. Isn't it liberating to recognize that fear is something you control, not something that controls you? When demons try to intimidate you, when they send waves of fear in your direction, you don't flinch. You've learned to recognize fear for what it truly is, a trap designed to keep you powerless. You've stopped feeding them with that energy, and because of that, their influence begins to wither. Without fear, their ability to sustain themselves diminishes. Their threats become hollow, their manipulations lose their grip, and their attempts to control you crumble to dust. Fear is not only a weapon demons use against you, but it is also the unspoken permission you give them to invade your mind, your life, and your spirit. So 2 Timothy 1:7 reminds us that God gave us a spirit, not of fear, but of power and love and self-discipline. When you stopped giving fear consent to control your actions, you took back your power. The more you chose faith over fear, the more you stripped them of their power, making their threats powerless and ineffective. What most people don't realize is that every time they react in fear, they give demons the ability to dictate their lives. But you've stopped that cycle. By refusing to let fear govern your decisions, you've drained their power. Without fear to feed on, demons are left weak, hungry, and powerless. They lose their grip over you, and in your resolute peace, you become the one who stands strong while they wither away. You've neutralized their greatest weapon, and in doing so, you've deprived them of their sustenance. When fear no longer has a place in your life, they have nothing left to hold on to. You stand firm, unshaken, and free, knowing that in the absence of fear, their influence is completely broken. How will you continue to live in this powerful freedom, unaffected by their attempts to manipulate or control you? How will you inspire others to break free from the grip of fear, knowing that it is no longer their fuel? While most people are trapped in a survival mentality, constantly fighting just to stay afloat, you've made a powerful shift into something far more formidable: dominion. You're not simply defending yourself from spiritual attacks. You're actively taking control, reclaiming what was always meant to be yours. You've recognized that the true battle isn't about mere survival, it's about conquering. Demons fear the moment you grasp this truth, because the instant you do, their reign over your life is shattered. Survival is a passive state. It's about waiting for the storm to pass, enduring the challenges as they come, and hoping things settle down. But dominion, that's an entirely different energy. Dominion is active. You don't wait for calm, you create it. Instead of letting fear or hardship dictate your existence, you take charge, shifting the energy around you and reclaiming what demons once thought they controlled. It's no longer enough to simply fend them off. You've learned to move forward with purpose, asserting your power and making your presence undeniable. This shift in mindset is exactly what has crippled 97% of their efforts against you. You've stopped letting them dictate the terms of the battle. When they strike, you don't just absorb the blow or try to recover. You turn their attack into an opportunity. Every time they attempt to break you down, you use that energy to strengthen yourself, repurposing their efforts to reinforce your dominion over your own life, your peace, and your purpose. Think about the example in the Romans 8:37. No, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. You're not just surviving, you're conquering. Each challenge you face is an opportunity for you to claim more of your power, more of your purpose, and more of your divine inheritance. Demons thrive in confusion and chaos, but when you step into dominion, you operate from a place of order, purpose, and clarity. You're no longer merely existing in their world. You're reshaping it to align with your higher calling. This transition from survival to dominion is what demons can't handle. When they expect you to retreat or falter, they're met with an unshakable force advancing forward. This shift in mindset, where you're not trying to keep your head above water, but actively swimming toward your purpose, is exactly why their influence over you has been decimated. Your refusal to play by their rules, to settle for survival, has completely broken their power. You've gone beyond defense to taking back what is rightfully yours. So, how will you continue to operate from this place of dominion, ensuring that no force can disrupt the control you've claimed over your life? How will you use this shift in mindset to inspire others to move beyond survival into a life of active purpose and power? In conclusion, the fact that you've triumphed over 97% of the demons that once sought to destroy you is an undeniable testament to your resilience, growth, and divine strength. This victory wasn't just about enduring a spiritual battle. It was about reclaiming your rightful place as a chosen child of God. Every strategic choice you made, every step of courage you took, and every moment you stood firm in the truth of your divine identity has shattered the power of darkness over your life. These forces thought they could break you, but they never realized that their attacks would only serve to make you stronger. You didn't just survive the battle, you became the warrior God called you to be. By refusing to bow to fear, refusing to engage with negativity, and fortifying your spiritual armor, you have stripped these forces of their control and left them powerless. What was meant to destroy you has instead become a stepping stone for your elevation. You've not only silenced the whispers of defeat, but also dismantled the tactics of the enemy, exposing their schemes for what they truly are: powerless illusions. This victory isn't just external, it's deeply internal. It's about the mastery of your mind, the courage to walk in your God-given purpose, and the refusal to let anything dim your light. By choosing authenticity, embracing your unique journey, and trusting in God's unfailing plan for your life, you've become a force that cannot be stopped. You've become a light so bright that no darkness can overcome it. The demons that once sought to control you now scatter in fear, fading into nothingness in the presence of your divine truth. You've not only survived the storm, you've become the storm. You're no longer just standing in the aftermath of battle. You're walking boldly into your victory. The journey ahead is filled with blessings, breakthroughs, and divine opportunities that no enemy can take away from you. Remember, the forces of darkness may have thought they could take you down, but instead they have been defeated, and you now stand stronger, wiser, and more powerful than ever before. If this message stirred something within you, if it reminded you of the power God has placed inside you, then now is the time to act. Don't keep this truth to yourself. Join this movement of faith and empowerment by subscribing to this channel. Hit the like button, share this message with others who need encouragement, and leave a comment below to let us know how God is working in your life. And if you feel led, you can support this mission by donating through the Super Thanks button. Your support helps keep this message alive and allows it to reach even more people who are fighting their own battles. Whether you choose to give or not, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being part of this journey. Your presence, your engagement, and your faith are what make this community so powerful. As you continue your walk with God, know that you are covered, you are protected, and you are unstoppable. The enemy may have tried to silence you, but now your voice is louder, your purpose is clearer, and your victory is undeniable. Go forward with confidence, knowing that God is with you every step of the way. You are chosen, and your light cannot be dimmed. May God bless you, strengthen you, and guide you into the fullness of His plan for your life. Let's keep rising together.